nuclear power industry and the suspicious events surrounding the Fukushima disaster, such as the CIA-made virus Stuxnet being placed on their computers of the nuclear reactors by Israel Mossad.
Ma'am, excuse me?
Yeah.
I see that you're advertising a product that I wouldn't fully endorse, so I'd have to mention that immediately.
Okay.
She has a good superficial overview of a lot of the conspiracy angles that can be more accurately put together by reading Jim Stone's website, and I say that not really in to criticize her, but she talks about UFOs a lot.
Oh yeah, well but there's others.
And I'm just making the association that as a general rule, people who do that tend to have less accurate information. And
Yeah,
as regards the whole Stuxnet Israel thing, and I've written about this myself, but the how do I want to say this? The fact that Israel destroyed Japan with an artificial nuclear device, and that exploded before the nuclear generated earthquake. And the whole tangent, and I think this is Jim Stone, but it may be somebody else that I don't remember, the tangent of the secret weapons deal that Japan had made with both the United States, Britain, and Israel to store many nuclear weapons at that site. All sorts of tangents go everywhere, and I don't think Murray covers a lot of that. She's kind of on a Benjamin Fulford level where we can't quite figure out which secret society or think tank or government program they actually work for, but we know we're not getting untrammeled information from them. It's like Sorcha Fail, we're getting beefed up intel that is trying to steer us in a certain direction, and I just I kind of like Arnie Gunderson on all this, but people have complaints about him. There's ENE News, which is a good site, and I was looking at a radiation map of Japan the other day, and it's bad. It's real bad over there. And plus a doctor told me that people's foreheads are shrinking. There's frontal cerebral cortex shrinkage. Yeah, that's it. I always mess up my medical terms.
Okay.
That is causing people to wind up sitting around laughing maniacally because the doctors won't treat them. So to convey this to the American people is such a picture of horror. I think, it's like all the information that Clayton and I try to put out. People want to resist it because it makes them so uncomfortable, but just because it makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not true and that you don't have to deal with it. And right now in this country, as I said it somewhere back on the show, I have to call this fellow in St. Louis I was supposed to call last night, who says, or he doesn't say, but a friend of his who's observed him says there are thousands of people in St. Louis suffering from radiation sickness with mostly respiratory symptoms.
Yes, and so are most of the first responders at the Twin Towers disaster.
Oh yeah, long ago. I mean, there are so many cover-ups at this point. Jesus, Clayton, how do we keep track of the cover-ups? It's like the Jewometer. It's like trying to rape people.
I'm writing science fiction from now on. I told you. That's right. This is how I'm coping with it.
This is all science fiction.
I saw the first day's video news programs about Oklahoma City bombing. And they removed two other bombs before that. They reported on that the first day, and they didn't. They shut it down. They shut them up after that.
I watched that live myself. I was fortunate enough to see that live.
Yeah, I never saw too many of the explosions on street level of the Twin Towers with the firemen walking by. I never saw that on the television too much. Did you see any of that?
But it's like, if we still have to convince people of that, which I guess we do, because everybody's still reading the newspaper and saying, I have an evangelical sister who's still sending me pro-Israel stuff. And it's
Yeah.
it's like, wait a minute, come on. And I'll tell you what I found. The more educated a person is, the tougher it is to convince him that everything he knows is wrong.
Isn't it called dogma, John? I mean, this is just like being all this dogma being pounded into you by the church. You got to do this, you got to do that, or you're going to go to hell, or you're going to be.
Oh, I'm talking about
scared.
science. I'm talking about scientists who have real data and build skyscrapers and do all these fantastic genetic things. I mean, there's extremely intelligent people who have gotten straight A's at everything they ever looked at. But they've suspended their critical thinking as to what they believe and what their objective is, and it's like, why are we here, for Christ's sakes? You know, it's like it's about making. We need to make the. This is a flip maxim, but we need to make the world run like a family. We want everything. We don't just want to be cogs in somebody's profit scheme. We want to be people. We want to be happy.
John, that is exactly what I put. I put Liberty Villages together with the thought, this is where I want to retire. I don't want to die in some friggin' rest home, some nursing home like my grandmother and like my mother did. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to build a place that can take care of those people. That can house the vets. That can and that you can raise your kids on where they're going to be healthy. You don't have to send them to a public school, a public school system to be indoctrinated and fed GMO corn.
Hey Clayton, I need to take about a 2-minute break. Can you keep talking for a minute?
Yeah, I don't know, John. I get so frightened. I get stage fright.
Well, I'll talk if you want.
All right, Ed. Listen, yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you listening.
And there's more in this Tools for Freedom catalog. There's radiation detox clay, what they use to remove all forms of radiation. There's, like they used at the Chernobyl disaster. There's nascent iodine, which is better than the potassium iodine. The nascent iodine is bioavailable, is an excellent supplement to take on a daily basis.
Well, I don't know anything about the company. I'm not. They're not paying me to advertise. You need to call them and tell them to advertise. I'll be glad to if they've got something that's useful and I can see it.
This is Tools for Freedom, and they're trying to get the news out that there is radiation all across the U.S. from the Fukushima.
Well, it's already happening, and there's more than that. I hear they're actually using Agent Orange on some of our crops. So.
Oh wow.
I don't know that for
I don't
sure,
know why they have to with all the tornadoes and the floods and stuff. You know.
We have you been able to order any of my books yet, Ann?
Yeah. Yes, I have. I did.
Okay.
I got it on in my email.
Okay, great. Which one, Mystery Babylon?
Mystery Babylon. It's pretty complete. It's an amazing expose, and I really appreciate getting the truth out. You know.
Thank you. You know, we got thousands of years of history, and I think that's what we're talking about. I think this deception, this control, this enslavement of humanity, they've been doing that for thousands of years, probably 6,000, probably more, probably way over that.
Yeah.
And there's a certain class of handlers. There are people that like to be over people. You know, I don't want to be a cop. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be put in that position. You know.
Yeah, well, there's people in both parties, and probably the Libertarian Party and this other groups in the Tea Party that want to control others.
Hey, Clayton?
Yes, sir.
Looks like I'm going to have to run off here.
All right.
Events are conspiring to tear me away.
Well, all right then. You take care of business, and I'll get
I'll get
all this up on the internet. I'll send you an email with all the links and the films and the whole bit.
Outstanding, man. Thanks for being there.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay. That's it.